a lady. I got a lady. I got a lady. Hey, I got a lady. I got a lady. Hey, name is the upper echelon. She a debater, baby. She can give it to you straight, no chaser. She got the smarts. She got the heart. She got the heart. She got the confidence, baby. Baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated. Stupid can't play with smart. She got the smart. She got the smart. She got the heart. She got the heart. She got the confidence. Baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated. Stupid can't play with smart. 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 Stupid can't play with smart.
Yes, 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 yes. I am back with a part 2, and y'all heard it here. Stupid can't play with smart. I keep trying to tell people that, but they don't take me serious. Stupid can't play with smart. Now that's the realest shit ever told. Now this right here is my this is my stomping grounds here. This is my area of interest when it comes to crime, court, law. This is what I like. So anything that I hear that may be false, I'm gonna come and correct it. So I'm back. Now we're talking about Holly being overcharged with first-degree unaliving. Now, it is true that sometimes people are charged with first-degree unaliving or charged with anything, right? And it comes back, they go ahead and they fight it in court, and it comes back that they were found not guilty for whatever reason. It could be because they had a great attorney, there wasn't enough evidence, a technicality, it could be anything, right? But let's talk really quick when it comes to overcharging. Now, let me grab my phone real quick because I want to read this. So I got a text where the silly auntie, Tamika Johnson, put on social media that Holly has an excellent legal team behind her. Well, y'all must have a lot of money because it is not cheap at all to fight a criminal case, let alone a murder charge. Now that is going to be expensive. I don't know who's going to have to put up their house, donate plasma, sell some aluminum cans, walk the stroll. I don't know what they're going to do to come up with this money to fight this case, because oftentimes murder cases last a long time, right? And we're going to get into all of that. But so the silly auntie put, she has an excellent legal team behind her. Holly will be just fine. This charge is simply to calm the public, nothing more. And remember, a charge is not a conviction. I think anybody with half of a scruple or a morsel of a brain cell knows that a charge is not a conviction, right? So we know that she has not been convicted and she must stand trial. I highly doubt that in a situation like this that she's going to plead anything. I think that she's going to stand trial. Now, this is a very serious charge. Now, let's get into the facts, because a lot of people use the word fact, but they never actually give any facts. So sometimes saying facts over feelings sounds good, but if you're going to use the motto facts over feelings, you actually have to present facts. You can't just say facts over feelings and then insert your feelings whenever you feel like it. No. We're talking about a young lady who unjustly murdered someone in cold blood over a buckethead nigga. And now she has been charged. Now, the first thing they said is that she wasn't going to be charged. If she was going to be charged, she would have been charged already. Remember, they said that. Then they said that Holly did not break any laws. That's another thing they said, right? Then they said that the case was only open because they didn't want to they wanted to give the family enough time to grieve, right? Then the most recent lie that they came forward with was that the case is closed. All of those things turned out to be lies. Now, the newest lie, the newest conspiracy theory is that Holly has been overcharged. I want you guys to understand something really, really clearly before I get into what I want to read off to you guys, because this is an informational live where we're going to be speaking on facts. I don't know if people understand the process of deciding a charge, but it's not just a group of police officers standing around in a huddle playing rock, paper, scissors. If I beat you in rock, paper, scissors, we gonna charge you with first degree. No, but if I beat you with rock over scissors, then we gonna charge her with manslaughter. No. It doesn't work like that. I think some of y'all watch too much TV. I think some of y'all watching too much Law and Order, The First 48. Y'all watching these celebrity y'all are watching these celebrity cases on TV, and y'all are thinking that y'all the next Johnny Cochran. Unfortunately, Upper is here to let y'all know that y'all are wrong. There is no such thing as overcharging someone just because of public outrage. That is untrue. It is false. It is a lie. Propaganda is not true. That's not how it happens. They don't just say, you know what? Let's just close this investigation and let's go ahead and just charge the bitch with first degree. Wrong. It doesn't work that way. So let's talk about how it really works, okay? Can everybody in the chat put hashtag facts? Okay, number one. Well, let's just say this first, okay? Prosecutors in Illinois cannot just pick a charge to appease the public. There is a clear legal process they must follow before filing a major charge like first-degree murder. And here is how it works. Number one, prosecutors must have probable cause. Before a person can be charged with any crime, shout out to Nina for that super chat. Shout out to Premium Woman for that super sticker. I appreciate y'all. Before any person can be charged with any crime, especially a serious one, prosecutors must have probable cause that a crime occurred and probable cause that the person committed it. Let's not forget, a grand jury was held, and the grand jury has already decided that first-degree murder has been committed. Okay? Now, probable cause is a legal standard based on number one, witness statements, 2, physical evidence, 3, video, 4, ballistics, 5, autopsy reports, and anything else the investigators have collected. If a prosecutor knowingly files a charge that they cannot support with evidence, it is considered misconduct, and cases can be dismissed or sanctions can be issued. Nobody is risking their life for Holly Quadeja Johnson. Well, not life, job. None of these people are going to risk their credibility, their reputation, or their career for y'all's queen. Nobody's doing that. The only people that are willing to risk their credibility for Quadeja Johnson are the YouTubers. But no person or official, state worker, police, investigator, prosecutor, state's attorney, district attorney, or judge is going to risk their credibility by putting in a charge that is completely fugazi just because they want to calm people down. That is against the law. It does not work that way. I don't know where y'all getting this shit from. Where are y'all getting this shit from? But let's move on. And I just want to throw in there, If you guys want facts on this case, make sure that you subscribe to the Upper Echelon podcast. Now, that we got past that. We know that now because I'm teaching y'all right now. The first thing that they must do when determining a charge is the prosecutors must have probable cause. Number two, in murder cases, prosecutors usually wait for evidence. Now, for the people in the back that were yelling, "Keep Holly free," and wondering why the case took so long and why it took so long for her to be charged, it's because the prosecutors were ensuring that they had enough evidence to charge her. Hence the reason why they waited for the autopsy report, the ballistic report, and the toxicology report, okay? So state's attorneys in Illinois typically do not file murder charges until they have, number one, a cause of death ruling. Number two, preliminary autopsy results. Number three, witness statement and evidence. Number four, timeline and investigative findings. Number five, a supported legal theory. Intent, knowledge, or accountability. They cannot legally guess or hope for the best just to calm public anger. If you hear someone saying that, please let them know that you already came to class on the Upper Echelon podcast and you found out that that's a lie and it's not true. There's no such thing as overcharging anybody to calm the public. That's a lie and it's a cover-up because people are saving face because they've been yelling, "Keep Holly free," and that Holly committed no crimes. And now we see that a grand jury has been held and 12 to 16 people, 12 to 16 of her peers, once they looked at the evidence, have decided that there is enough to charge her with first-degree murder. Nobody played rock, paper, scissors with Quadacia's name or her freedom. Nobody sat there and played bubblegum in a dish on Quadacia's sentencing. Charging, okay? Now, what else do we need, right, in order to determine what a person would be charged with? We've already gone over probable cause. The prosecutors must have probable cause. Prosecutors are not going to purposely set themselves up for failure. They need to be pretty sure. They can't be 100% sure, but they need to be pretty sure that the charge is going to stick. Okay? Number two, we already went over that. The prosecutors have to wait for evidence in order to determine the charge. Meaning that the prosecutor saw something and know something that makes them believe strongly enough that this is a case that is eligible for first-degree murder. Let me turn this off. Hold on, because it's making too much noise. Now, I don't want nobody getting mad with me now. I'm just going over the facts with y'all, okay? The prosecutors, remember, the prosecutors and the grand jury saw something, and soon we'll know what that something is, hint, hint, that let them know that this was a first-degree murder charge. Number three, the grand jury is considered a safeguard. Now, a grand jury was held the day of the protest. Now, you guys know I went to the protest a couple of weeks back. On that day, the grand jury was being held. Now, a grand jury is considered a safeguard in a charging, meaning, also for the people that don't know, the grand jury is not public. Okay, so it's not something public. It's not something that everybody is supposed to know. Meaning that Quadacia didn't even know that there was a grand jury held. Okay, honey. Quadacia, that's why the grand jury was held 2 weeks ago. But just yesterday, Quadacia was posting on YouTube Carhartt outfits and customized Timberland boots because she thought she was off. She thought she was off. She thought she was all Gucci. She thought she was all good because she didn't even know that a grand jury had been held. A lot of times a grand jury is not going to tell the perpetrator or the assumed perpetrator that a grand jury is going to be held because they could be a flight risk. So they're not going to say, hey, we're holding a grand jury to determine whether or not to charge you because they think that you may run. Oftentimes, grand juries are held for high-profile cases. Remember, they kept saying this isn't a high-profile case. Nobody cares about this Romeka Meeks case. Nobody's talking about it. But it was high-profile enough to have a grand jury. So, hey, everybody coming in. Now, let's get into it. Number 3, the grand jury is a safeguard. They hear evidence from detectives. They ask questions. They vote on whether there is probable cause. If they do not believe probable cause exists, they do not indict. The charge cannot proceed. This is why a murder indictment is not something a prosecutor can file based on public pressure alone. It has to pass through the prosecutor, the investigators, the and 12 to 16 grand jurors, all agreeing that probable cause exists. So remember that. Again, the detectives didn't play bubblegum in a dish and decide to run and go apprehend Holly. Oh, let's just throw her first degree on it. No. That's not what happened. What happened is it had to go through the prosecutor, the investigators, and 12 to 16 jurors before she was charged. All of this is done to ensure that when it makes it to the courtroom, that whatever the state charged her with, it will stick. The state hates to be made a fool out of. Okay. Let's go to number 4. Overcharging to appease the public is risky and rare. Why? Because if a prosecutor overcharges, the defense can attack the case. The judge can dismiss the charges for lack of evidence. The prosecutor's office loses credibility. They risk losing at trial. No state's attorney wants to take a weak murder case to trial just to look good. Let me explain to y'all. Let me stop reading this really quick. Let me explain something to y'all. This is how it works for those of you guys that don't know. And see, I'm here to educate for those of you guys that don't know. Because if you don't know, you'll believe anything. So that's why a lot of these YouTube channels just tell you people anything because they know that a lot of people just don't know. Let me explain the process. So when a murder like this occurs, she says it was self-defense. So they took a couple of months to investigate. Do you guys know what happens after the investigators are done investigating? Anybody know? I'll let you know. After the investigators are done with their investigation, they create a big investigative packet. That packet is turned over to the state's attorney's office. The packet includes whatever they've investigated, including witness statements, video, phone records, anything that they found, okay, interviews, anything that they have found as evidence is put inside of that packet. Then after they put that, complete that packet, it is sent over to the state's attorney's office, Miss Eileen. So Miss Eileen, the ballistic, also what's inside of that packet is the ballistic report, the toxicology report, the autopsy report. All of that stuff is included with what the investigators found. It's submitted to the state's attorney. The state's attorney, who is very, very, very qualified, incredible, looks through that packet and reviews that packet. The state's attorney then determines if charges should be filed. In this case, the state's attorney said, okay, I see the evidence, I see the autopsy report, I see the ballistic report, the toxicology report, and all the video and all of the evidence that the investigators have turned over. I think that this qualifies now to be sent over to the grand jury. It doesn't happen like that all the time. It only happens in high-profile cases, in cases where it's big on social media, or in cases where a person is considered a flight risk. So they have a private grand jury where 12 to 16 jurors decide whether or not this is a case in which the person should be charged, where the prosecutors are there to present that evidence. So I'm explaining it in these steps because I want you guys to understand everybody is not wrong about Miss Quadasia Johnson. It doesn't matter what any bloggers have to say, because to say that she was overcharged is to say that not only, let me say this, it's to say that the state's attorney was wrong, the investigators were wrong, the grand jury was wrong, 12 to 16 jurors were wrong. All of these people were wrong, or all of these people were in cahoots to calm down public outrage. Are you fucking stupid? That's what I came to ask, actually. Are you fucking stupid? Are you dumb? That's what I want to know. That's dumb. It's just dumb. All of these people that are subsequently not even really even connected, you're saying they all work together to calm down public outrage. The public is outraged every damn day. So, like I said, it's steps to this, it's levels to this. It ain't just one person saying, I'll just throw first degree. There's a whole process here. So the investigators investigated, they got done, sent it to the state's attorney. The state's attorney looked over the evidence, and clearly she was blown away because she sent it to the grand jury. After she sent it to the grand jury, they decided that she should be charged with first-degree murder. So, no, she hasn't been overcharged to calm down public outrage. Stop being silly. Just admit to the fact that the girl was wrong. She did what she killed someone over a nigga. She threw her whole life away. At this point, it doesn't matter if personally, I don't think they're going to let her out. I don't think that, because she's been out long enough. She's been out long enough. She killed somebody in September, and here it is December. She done had enough fucking free time. They don't need to let her out, in my opinion. But whether she gets out or not, the girl will do prison time. She will do prison time. Now let's get into this. Hold on, let me see. Did I skip anything? No state's attorney wants to take a weak murder case to trial just to look good. Illinois prosecutors are especially cautious because the media watches murder cases closely. Dismissals make offices look incompetent. Wrongful overcharging can end political careers. So overcharging to appease the public is more of a blogger narrative than a legal reality. So we can't run around with the narrative Holly was overcharged and in the same breath say facts over feelings, because that's not a fact. That's a feeling. That's a hope. That's a want. That's a desire. You want for her to have been overcharged because you know that you're wrong. Now let's go on to number 5. Number 5, they can file the maximum charge allowed by law if evidence fits. Sometimes prosecutors charge the highest level supported, i.e. first-degree murder instead of second-degree, because the evidence supports intentional or knowing cause of death. Now let's stop there really quick. A lot of people are saying that she should not have been charged with first-degree unalivenment. But a lot of people are saying that without knowing what the stipulations for first-degree murder in the state of Illinois is. In the state of Illinois, you do not have to have it does not have to be premeditated in order to be considered first degree, like in most states. In most states, it must be pretty clear that there was some premeditation. So it's not as hard in the state of Illinois to charge someone with first degree than it is in other states. In other states, the difference, see, when people start bringing up all of these other cases and trying to compare them to this Romika Meeks case, that's where they're fucking up. And I'm going to tell you why. If you're bringing up a Trayvon Martin case that happened in the state of Florida, the laws in the state of Florida are polar opposite from the laws in the state of Illinois. So somebody getting off with first-degree murder in Florida could be for a totally different reason than somebody would get off in Illinois. If Trayvon Martin was in Illinois, it's very possible that George Zimmerman ass would have been locked up, because they don't play that shit in Illinois. They don't play that shit in Illinois. So you can't compare a case from Florida or Texas or DC or Indiana to a case in Illinois. So let's just be for real here. Okay? So let me reread this. Sometimes prosecutors charge the highest level supported, first-degree murder instead of second-degree, because the evidence supports intentional or knowing cause of death. Oh, that's what I wanted to say, because I had got thrown off. What I also wanted to say was, people are running around saying that there is not enough to charge her with first. There's plenty to charge her with first-degree murder up in this state. I don't know about what state anybody else is from, but in the state of Illinois, enough has definitely happened to be able to charge her with first-degree murder. Again, you don't need premeditation in the state of Illinois to be charged with first-degree murder. The only thing that they need is that she meant to kill her and that she did not believe that she was in imminent danger of losing her life at the time. Not in imminent danger of getting beat up, not in imminent danger of getting punched, not in imminent danger of getting cussed out. No, but in imminent danger of losing her life or great bodily harm. Now, we know that Ms. Johnson did not have a mark on her body, and she denied medical care once the ambulance got there for her and the baby. So we know that she didn't have a mark on her. We also know that Romeka got hit with more than one bullet. We also know that Quadeja attempted to shoot more times. One time she shot her in the face. The second time she shot her in the leg. The third time she shot again, but we don't know where that bullet went. And then the fourth time the bullet got jammed. So the whole, I didn't intend to kill her, we know that's out the window. Was she in imminent danger of losing her life or great bodily harm at the time? We know that's out the window. So they have plenty to charge her with first-degree murder. And that is a fact. So now that I explained that the prosecution, investigators, and state's attorney didn't wake up one day and decide to go meet at the park and play bubblegum in a dish, or play rock, paper, scissors to see what her charge was going to be. And it is actually a process behind it, a very complicated process behind it. Please stop with the narrative that there was some sort that they just did it just cause. It don't work like that, Jim Shoe. Now let's go to the last one. Now this is the bottom line. Illinois prosecutors cannot charge someone just to calm the public. They cannot charge without evidence. Do I need to say that part again? Can y'all do that one more time for me now? Put hashtag facts one more time for me. I don't mean to ask y'all for too much, but can y'all go ahead and just put hashtag facts for me? Well, Monica, let me say this, Monica, because Monica says, I believe it was out of outrage. Let me say this. What you, and respectfully, what you believe is very different than what the facts are. So I respect your beliefs, but that your belief is not a fact. The facts is that what you're saying is illegal. That is not how it works. And in order for public outcry to be quiet, to calm it down, that means that not only were the investigators working with the state's attorney, but the state's attorney did not just turn over the investigative packet to the grand jury, but she also walked the packet into the grand jury, sat there and said, can y'all, I know that this is a private hearing, but can y'all make sure that y'all charge her with first degree? That's what has to, so by you saying that, that's what had to have happened. They all in cahoots is what you're saying. Now, if that helps y'all sleep better at night to believe that, then I'm gonna let y'all have y'all belief. But I'm gonna have to keep on giving facts over here. I'm sorry, respectfully. Now, they cannot charge without evidence. Meaning, come on, y'all, let's use our brains that God gave us. He put it up there for a reason now, okay? In order, I'm going to talk slow because I know there's some people in the bushes that need me to slow down. In order for them to get a charge, they have to have evidence. There has to be evidence. They can't just charge without evidence. There is evidence. We don't, well, y'all don't know everything that it is. Y'all don't know what the evidence is, but what you should know is that there is some evidence that exists that allowed that charge to take place. You cannot charge someone without evidence. I'm not talking about the YouTube evidence. I'm talking about that real evidence. Evidence exists. They didn't just put, don't y'all know how people cut up a bunch of pieces of paper and put it in a hat, and then you stick your hand in just to pull out one to see what it say? That's not how they did it. They didn't go to the grand jury, didn't sit there and cut up a bunch of pieces of paper, and then on one piece of paper it said second degree, on the other piece of paper it said first degree, on another piece of paper it said child endangerment, and then they took the paper and put it all in a baseball cap and had one of the jurors reach their hand in and pull out a paper and say, "Oh, okay, this one says first degree. Let's charge it with it." That's not what I know. Some of y'all think that might have been what happened, but that's not what happened. So, in order for a charge for them to come to a conclusion on what she was charged with, there has to be evidence. Do y'all understand that? Listen, y'all. I know y'all want her to be innocent, real bad. Y'all was doing the keep Holly free and all of that crazy shit. But at a certain point, I think even after she's convicted, y'all still gonna be no. Okay, when she convicted, they're gonna be saying she's over convicted. Y'all, does that exist? Y'all gonna be like, she was over convicted. She was over convicted. yeah. That ghetto Romika rolled down on them, and she had to defend herself. And now y'all overcharged her. Now y'all over convicting her. They're gonna make up a new word. And y'all, she's over convicted. Now she over convicted. But okay, so they cannot charge without evidence. They cannot charge without probable cause. They cannot override a grand jury's decision. So ultimately, there are a few people that agreed that she should be charged with first-degree murder. Illinois prosecutors can file the most serious charge that evidence legally supports, present that evidence to the grand jury, and let the grand jury decide whether to indict. So the prosecution believe that Quadasia Holly Johnson should have been charged with first-degree murder. Not only did they believe it, but they had to present evidence to back up their belief. Unlike YouTube, like the YouTubers, we can just get on here and say anything without any proof, any evidence, and just say some shit. I know y'all getting confused, but it don't work like that in court. It doesn't work like that in the grand jury. I can't just go in the grand jury and turn on my goal and my super chats and be like, yeah, because I think she should get first degree, and then that's just what I think. No, it don't work like that. They have to convince the jury at the grand jury that this is first degree. And not only do they have to convince them, they have to show pretty strong evidence to get them to agree to that charge. So I want people to really think about that. Be careful with who you're listening to out here, y'all, because that makes absolutely no sense to even say. It doesn't make sense to even say something like that. Do people get charged with things and then they get a lesser sentence? Yes, all the time. But to say that somebody got charged just to calm down public outrage is the silliest shit I've heard in a long time. Because that would mean that the prosecution would have had to go into the grand jury and say, it's a lot of noise out there on YouTube. Have you guys seen those pages out there? Yeah, they're saying hashtag justice for Romeka. Yeah, I'm nervous that they're going to burn the city down. Let's just go ahead and just give her first degree. Yeah, we don't have to really convict her of it. Just charge her really quick. I mean, she's out here posting Carhartt jumpsuits and customized Timberland boots. Just go ahead and just give her first degree. Yeah, I know y'all want it to have work like that, but that's not how it works, guys. This is not a movie. This is not television. This is real life. This was a real investigation. And a lot of y'all didn't even see the evidence that had a lot of the evidence hasn't even been presented yet. We only seen a little bit. So, if the grand jury indicted Holly Johnson, what does that mean, y'all? What does it mean if the grand jury? Because a lot of y'all didn't even know that a grand jury was held, did y'all? Until today. Yeah, a grand jury was held. So, if a grand jury decided to indict Holly Johnson, what does that mean? It means that they heard evidence. It means that they believed that probable cause existed. It means that the charge was legally supported, not political or socially. It was legally supported. Legally. Any questions in the chat? Let me see. Hey, everybody coming in. Let me go up. Oh, thank you, Jen. Hey, Ebony. Hey, Ashley. Raw non-biased. Hey, everybody coming in. Neo. So how prosecutors legally can choose the charge in Illinois. So obviously we know now, if you guys didn't see the video, the live stream that I did about 2 weeks ago or so, I did a live stream where I broke down the possible charges that Holly could be facing. And I read off, or I went over why she would probably be charged with first-degree murder. So I basically called it. So go back. I shared it on my community wall a few hours ago. The thumbnail says first-degree, second-degree manslaughter. And you know, in the state of Illinois, we don't offer manslaughter charges. Anything that's considered manslaughter in another state, in the state of Illinois, will fall under second-degree murder. So prosecutors charge first-degree murder when they believe evidence supports one of these things. That one, she had the intent to kill. 2, the intent to cause great bodily harm. 3, the knowledge that her actions could kill Romeka. 3, strong circumstantial evidence of intent, or the extreme disregard for human life. Not only this is an opinion, y'all, but not only did she show a strong disregard of human life on the day of the murder, but she also continued to show a strong disregard of human life and a lack of sympathy, empathy, and compassion after the murder. Once she got on social media, talking shit, creating YouTube channels, and all of that bullshit. That was the dumbest shit I've ever seen a murderer do after a murder. Get on YouTube, post videos of vacations and shit. She got the auntie posting her OnlyFans page and shit. You got your auntie posting videos of you with the man that you killed Romeka for. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I just didn't know people were that damn dumb. That's the stupidest shit I think I've ever seen. Did y'all see? I just can't even believe that happened. I was listening to Keys and when he said that they think that the auntie really don't like her, I think that might be true. Because why would you do that? If anything, as the auntie, why would you not tell her, hey, just don't say shit. Don't make no YouTube channel. You want to know why? Because everything you're doing, they're watching you. Literally, they're watching everything that you do. And then when you get in court, when you get in front of a judge and your attorney is trying to plead to the jury that you feel so horrible about what happened and you really didn't want to have to do it, they're going to refer to all of them cocky ass posts that you made on social media. Well, you didn't look too sympathetic here. You didn't look too sad here. You were bragging. You made a post about my baby daddy and matching outfits and smiling and going on vacation. You did not give a fuck. You didn't care. So I just could not believe that someone was not advising her. And then when the auntie said that she has a great legal team behind her, well, where the fuck are they? And when are they going to start getting to work? Because the first thing they should have told her crazy ass is to get the fuck off social media. You don't want people to see you smiling, enjoying yourself, going out to eat, matching outfits with the man that you killed Romika for. That is not the image that you want to portray to the public. But her dumbass auntie was going on these different channels talking shit in comments, doxing people and all this shit. I said, what type of stupid motherfuckers? What is going on? But anyway, so those are the things that must exist for prosecutors to charge with the first-degree murder. I'm going to go over them one more time. That's intent to kill, intent to cause great bodily harm, knowledge that your actions could lead to killing someone, strong circumstantial evidence of intent, and extreme disregard for human life, which we know that she definitely had. Now, I went over all of this 2 weeks ago. So if you want to see the video that I did 2 weeks ago, go on my community wall again and go watch the video where I broke down all of the charges 2 weeks ago. Now, second-degree murder is a reduced murder charge. This is rarely the starting charge in Illinois. Second-degree murder is basically first-degree murder minus certain circumstances. Like one, acting under sudden intent or passion. Now, if the witness, normally in a grand jury, the witnesses are, I forgot to mention that part. That's another reason why a grand jury is usually held, not only for privacy, but also to reduce flight risk and also to protect the witnesses. Grand juries are often held to protect witnesses' identity. Remember, the witnesses said that before the shooting occurred, there was a small conversation between Carlos and Romika and Holly. And the conversation went a little bit like this. She gonna shoot you. He talking to Romika. She gonna shoot you. She finna go get her gun. And then after that, Holly said, I'ma shoot you, bitch. Watch, I'ma shoot you. Those words right there, if you have a prosecutor worth a ham sandwich, is gonna be able to prove that that was not a sudden shooting out of passion or intent or just, I just happened out of nowhere. No. He not only said she was going to do it, she said she was going to do it. She went to go do it, and she did. It wasn't a situation where she had her gun on her. She was being attacked, and in the midst of her being attacked, she shot Romika. Wrong. That's not how it happened. Too many people said the girl was being held during the time of the shooting or right before the shooting. And once she was let go in a split second, she was shot in the face. That's what the witnesses said to us. Now, if the witnesses went up into the grand jury and said that bitch is cooked, and if the footage backs up the witness statement, that bitch is cooked. And how much do you want to bet that the witness statement matches the footage? Because if the witness statements didn't match the footage, they wouldn't have charged her with first degree. I want somebody to screen record this, okay? If the witness statements are the same statements that we've been hearing, and they went up and we know that they went to the grand jury, the witnesses are going to go to the grand jury. That's a part of the evidence. The only way that first degree murder in this case could have been applied is if the witness statements matched the video. And if the witness statement is anything that we've been hearing, that bitch is cooked. She's cooked. Now, I ain't gonna read the rest of this. So, yeah. That's all I came back to say. Now I got to get ready for bed. But I just wanted to come back and just let y'all know, like, don't fall for the propaganda. The whole since September, since the shit happened, all I've been hearing is shit that don't make no sense, a whole bunch of bullshit. And I've been really trying to convey to people, and I'm done with that shit. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything anymore. I'm just simply going to give my audience the information. People can do what they want to do with it. But I've been saying from jump that a lot of people are speaking based off of their actual emotions and feelings, but they're projecting that onto everyone else. Because to say that nobody fights anymore and I'm not going to fight anybody, I'm just going to shoot them. Well, that's an emotion. That's a feeling. Because if we're talking facts, because, you know, the whole premise of the coverage of this case with the bloggers has been facts over feelings. So if we're talking about facts, then the fact is that if you're not going to fight because that shit is so ghetto and we're too old to fight and don't nobody fight no more, well, that's not a fact. That's a feeling, because that's illegal in the state of Illinois. I thought we were talking about facts. I thought we weren't talking about feelings, because the facts is that if you come to a fist fight with a gun in the state of Illinois, you going to fucking jail, whether you want to fight or not. That's not me talking about if it's right, if it's wrong, what I would do. I'm just telling you what the law is. The law says that you're going to fucking jail. If somebody sock you in your mouth and you know, somebody punches you and then you shoot them, the likelihood is that you're going to jail in the state of Illinois. Period. That's the facts. Let me look at some of these comments. You know, it didn't piss me off. I don't get mad. I just be like, shit, well, that's just another opportunity for me to put out the truth. You know what I mean? The truth is that is incorrect. That is incorrect. They're not going to overcharge anyone to calm public outcry. Yes, sometimes people are overcharged, but to overcharge someone purposely because of public outrage is ridiculous. And not only is it's ridiculous because a charging has to go through too many channels. There's too many channels that it has to go through. Now, I've been right so far, so I'm not gonna argue with nobody about what the fuck I know, and I know that that's not true. But I'm just here to tell y'all. They've been saying she's not going to jail, and that's why they let her go. Wrong. She locked up and charges first-degree murder. Right. Oh, you know what? And I heard Keys over there talking about the bond. Now we know that they don't do cash bail anymore in Illinois. So as far as what's gonna happen with her tomorrow, I don't really know. But what they are gonna do though is what is it called? She is going to have what you call a detention hearing. And basically, like, that's to see, well, one, if she's a flight risk or if she's a threat to the community and stuff like that. So I can't speak on that because I really don't know what's gonna happen to her. To be honest with you, it don't matter to me. I'm just glad that she got charged. I'm just glad she got charged because I'm willing to play the long game with it. Like, either way, the bitch going to prison. It don't really matter. Even if she do go home, okay, she going home, but shit, she going to jail. She going to prison. She's going to prison, y'all. She going to prison. Now, am I 100% sure she'll be charged with first degree? No, I'm not 100% sure what she'll be charged with because I have not seen everything yet. But what I'm saying is I know for a fact that they did not just charge her just because people are bad. It doesn't work like that, black people. It don't work like that. What's wrong with folk? It don't work like that. But yeah, she's gonna be not. I don't know what she's gonna eventually be convicted with, but I know that she broke a lot of laws on that day. So So she's definitely not just gonna be charged with Romika's unaliving. She's not charged, convicted. She's gonna be convicted for her unaliving, whatever that conviction may be. but she's also going to be charged with child endangerment. She's going to be charged with child endangerment. She's all and y'all can hold me to this because I'm about 90% sure. And then not only that, but I'm about 90% sure that she's going to be convicted of some charges are going to be added. One, like I said, child endangerment. Two, reckless discharge of a firearm for firing off in the school zone. There was a big argument about, oh, she wasn't in a school zone. She wasn't in school. She was in a school zone. A school zone is defined as two different things depending on what the crime is. If it's a traffic offense, then a school zone is based on the traffic signs. If it's a murder or drugs or anything criminal like that, then it's no longer based off of the placement of the signs. It's based on the school borders, which I showed you in the previous on another video. And not only is it based on the school borders, but it's also based on how many feet away from the actual physical school grounds that she was. And we know that Quadeja was within 1,000 feet of that school. So she'll be charged with that too, 90% sure. For firing off in the school zone, reckless discharge of a firearm, child endangerment, and murder charge. I believe, I'm not positive, but I strongly believe that she will be charged with first-degree murder, convicted of first-degree murder. And the reason I say that again is because it takes a lot to get that charge. Doesn't mean that it always sticks. It don't mean it's gonna always stick. But again, this is not television. This is not the First 48. This is not Cops. We're not watching Lifetime Movie Network. This is real life. They had to have actual evidence in order to get that charge. Interested in seeing what evidence that was. And for those people that are saying that Quadeja's child was in danger and she had to defend her child, that is just simply false and a flat out fucking lie. And do you want to know how I know it's a lie? Well, because I work for DCFS. I work as a child welfare specialist. I work in that field. We know for a fact that Quadeja has an open DCFS case and her son is not in her custody. In the state of Illinois, they're not going to remove your child from your custody for defending your child. They're not going to take away your son because you were defending him and trying to save his life. If you had a valid reason for shooting someone in the face in front of your child because they were going to do something to you or to your child, the state is not going to take away your child. The state does not punish people by removing their children for saving their children's lives. Can we please use some common sense here, y'all? Let's look at the facts. Let's look at the evidence. The girl does not have custody of her child in this moment. She does not have custody of her child in this moment. In this moment, baby Carter is a ward of the state of Illinois for a reason. The police contacted DCFS on the day of the murder. The police believed that DCFS needed to be contacted. That says enough. Then DCFS doesn't just take your child. Let me let you know how that process works because I work for them. They don't just take your baby. Oh no. As a matter of fact, removing a child from the biological parent is the last ditch resort. Oftentimes people have open DCFS cases, but the child remains in the home. It's called an intact case, meaning that yes, you did something wrong. And we believe that you need help from DCFS to give you parenting classes or whatever else you need. But we don't think the situation is severe enough to take the child out of your care. Only time they're going to take the child out of your care is in severe cases. This case, according to DCFS, is severe enough to where they decided to remove the child from Quadeja's custody. They removed the child from Quadeja's custody for a reason. They didn't remove the child from Quadeja's custody because Quadeja was a hero on that day and saved baby Carter. They removed baby Carter from her custody because she was reckless. And if DCFS says that she was reckless, that means a crime has occurred. Let's use our minds, you guys. God is a good God, and he gave us a brain and he put it up there in our head. But the thing is that a lot of people just don't use it. I don't know why. It's an awesome organ, and people just don't use it. I just don't understand that, because people want their reality to be what it is, and it's not. Because they want what they want, but the reality of it is not what your opinion is. It's not what you would have done in that situation, and it's not how bad you feel for Holly. The truth is the truth. And the truth is that the state of Illinois decided that baby Carter was not safe in Holly's care for a reason. Or do you think they snatched her baby because of public outcry? Oh, shit. Yeah. People be making me mad sometimes. People just be saying anything on this bitch. It's just so fucking annoying. It's so annoying. That's why I tapped out of this case. Well, really, I told y'all I tapped out of this case because for a couple weeks because I had went to the protest, and I just kind of need to take a break from it. And then also I knew that she would be charged. And I knew it was coming soon. I was just waiting for Thanksgiving to be over with. You guys don't know the level of joy that I had when I saw her post that video with them customized Timberland boots on. That shit was funny to me. I said, that bitch going to jail. That girl going to jail. That girl is going to fucking jail. She should be saving her damn money for her attorney fees. And she's spending money on Carhartt outfits and Timberland. I was laughing. I said, she just don't know. If she is finna go to jail, she finna look like a complete jackass posting all this shit on social media. I already knew it. So that's really why I came back the other day, because I wanted to get myself back in the algorithm, because I knew the bitch was going to jail. Let me see if she's been processed yet. Hold on, let me check, y'all. Nope, not yet. Shouts out to you, Upper, a woman. You did a very, thank you, appreciate you. All right, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go to bed. I'll talk to you guys either tomorrow or this weekend or whatever. And remember, facts over feelings. All right, y'all, peace.
I got a lady. Name is the upper echelon, she a debater, baby. She can give it to you straight, no chaser. She got the smarts, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated, stupid can't play with smart. She got the smart, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated. Stupid can't play with smart.